Well, before we went to break, we were talking about Seussical the musical at Clear Spring High School. Beth Smith out there is in charge of the directing this show. And they have, I see the photos because Amy Doulabon, our lifestyle reporter, she went out last night. Because we taped this earlier, last night in order to go and see the production. And she, the costumes, the photos they come to is really cool. We have a little B-roll here of that production. It looks like it's going to be a fun event. So, two shows this weekend, maybe go to one night, the other night, or wait in BISFA for the following night. I'm going to say get your tickets early for both of them.
Yeah,
it's probably going to sell out quickly.
Shows.
Well, let's get that information up on screen. That's Seussical the musical, just like saying that. 7:30 Friday, Saturday, 2 p.m. Sunday. They only run one weekend. Clear Spring High School, that's off of Broad Fording Road. There's a phone number there for more information for ticket prices and the like. So this other event is called the Hitching Post. I think it's pretty interesting because women, they say it's like $20,000 for a wedding.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah. So this thing that they have had, I think I want to say 1 or 2 years now, at the barn at Springfield Farm, or we just call it Springfield Barn. Mm-hmm. They're going to have this hitching post. They basically previously owned bridal shower, wedding items will be for sale. So women who want to stay on budget, maybe want to, invest their money in buying a house instead, or a really fantastic honeymoon can, be a little better. My sister, actually, the hitching post wasn't going on when her and her husband got married 8 years ago, but she was like the queen of finding the cheapest things without it looking cheap. Mm-hmm, and this is a good place where you could probably find something really nice.
Find some bargains.
Find some bargains that will help, to elevate your special day.
Right, and keep the budget down.
Yes, and there's going to actually be wedding service providers too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get that information up on screen. That's the Hitching Post, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. That's at the Barn of Springfield Farm. That's off of Springfield Lane, which is actually off of 11 in Williamsport. Free admission to get in. If you want any more information, you can call Joan Canode at that phone number. Now, this is a pretty interesting thing. We've talked about the Dolman Black Heritage Museum exhibit, Black Heritage Museum, for years because they've been trying to find a home since Mrs. Dolman died several years ago.
Sounds like they're well on track to raise in the capital so that they can actually build a building or renovate a building.
I am so excited for wanting to see that because I actually had the chance to visit Mrs. Dolman in her house. There is no way that I could have spent 5 days in there and still not have seen every single thing she had because it was pretty packed.
Wow. And
the fact that she recognized that this was important to her heritage and save before, because there's the huge African American museum down in the Inner Harbor in Baltimore was never even thought of yet. When she was doing that. So let's get that information. So anyways, they're going to have the Dolman Black Heritage Museum, a special exhibit. Sorry, I got off track. But they're going to have a special exhibit at the Miller House because they have no home right now. So the Miller House is putting on a special exhibit of the Dolman Black Heritage Museum. And so a lot of Mrs. Dolman's collection will be there. And Wendy Perry, who's the curator, is going to give a lecture. So if you want a little sneak peek on some of the fantastic items that Mrs. Dolman had, you can go down to the Miller House. And, if there's other rooms too in the Miller House to explore. So if you've never been to the Miller House, be sure to get out there. It was fun. I actually visited there last year, which in 4th grade it was mandatory for Washington County kids to go to the Miller House. So that had been a long time since I've been out there. It's always fascinating. They always have new exhibits, and this is one exhibit anyone should make sure to go out and see. So let's get that information up on screen. That's the Dolman Black Heritage Museum exhibit, 1 to 3 on Saturday. The exhibit continues through the month of May. That's at the Miller House Museum. That's on West Washington Street downtown. Call the phone numbers or do the email for more information. Now, uniquely West Virginia, you are a wine drinker.
Yes.
this is up your alley.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Uniquely West Virginia it's been going on for a few years now, and
Yeah.
it's a way to bring products and produce from West Virginia to Berkeley Springs, and just bring it all together in one place so people can have a chance to sample local wines, local foods. This year they'll have 6 Virginia wineries. They'll also have some new things, maple syrup from West Virginia, which I never think of West Virginia for maple syrup, but there you go. And also some handmade soaps from the area. Also the Berkeley Springs Farmers Market will, although it officially opens the next day, they'll have some folks there selling some crops, some greens that are grown hydroponically and also from a greenhouse. So it's a nice place to go. It's free admission and it's free to sample. And then if you want, you can buy things as well.
Well, and there's going to be like some music too on Saturday night. So
Yes, the plate scrapers will play
I love that.
bluegrass.
So let's get that information up on screen. Go ahead.
That's the Uniquely West Virginia. It's a local food festival. That's 10 to 4 on Saturday. It's at the Ice House in Berkeley Springs. Admission is free, and there's a phone number there and a website to call for more information.
Wow, we have a train show and sale. While we were down in West Virginia, might want to check out the Bunker Hill Train Club train show and sale.
Now, my dad somehow never picked up on the model train bug when he was young. So I never picked it up from him, but I've always appreciated small things, machinery, small machinery, models. And trains have been pretty neat. So I've liked going out to the displays here in the area. Now this is in Bunker Hill in West Virginia. They'll have all scales from the tiny ones, the Z scale, up to the big ones, the G scale, some of them outside. And so you can buy things, you can see displays, and then they'll have some experts there's a guy, Joey Ricard, who's a nationally known modeler. He'll have trackside displays. It's a nice show. Just fun to go and look,
And this is definitely a family event. A lot of people take out their kids to kind of even see them running on the tracks.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun event.
Well, let's get that information on screen. That's the Bunker Hill Train Club, train show and sale, 10 to 3 on Saturday in the Ranson Civic Center in Ranson, West Virginia. It's $4 to get in, free for kids, and there's a phone number there to call.
Well, there is just so many things to do. And like I said, let me tell you more about this spingo.com. You go to our website, it's under the calendar. Basically, you submit your event, you can do basics, but if you want to be more featured, you can pay to do that. It's really, really interesting, and you guys will love it. Very visual, new calendar. So we'll see you here next time.